Italy have began their summer tour with a win over Namibia. It's quite a convincing win, 73-6 for the Italians. The Azzurri will now move on to play in South Africa in a two-test series over the next coming weeks to really test themselves. Now, it must be remembered that Italy came to Namibia and will go to South Africa without a number of key players in the squad, missing the likes of Garbisi and Capowazzo due to commitments with their clubs in France. But it does raise a question, quite a big question, in terms of rugby as a sport, in terms of how do you develop those tier twos, those tier three nations like Namibia. Look, the African team have qualified for, I can't off the top of my head think about the countless World Cups in a row from Africa. Being the best African side besides South Africa, comfortably beating the likes of Ivory Coast and Zimbabwe on their way to the World Cups. However, every time they get to the World Cup, they are soundly beaten by the bigger teams. What needs to be done to allow the development of these countries? Playing against the likes of Italy will do that. However, with the bringing in of this new World League that they're looking to do with rugby, there needs to be relegation and promotion really, really soon because you want the development of these countries. You want the rugby to grow as a sport. Rugby is closing the doors for nations like Namibia to grow. Yes, the expansion of the World Cup helps a little, giving the likes of Spain a chance to develop. But again, Spain won't truly develop until they are allowed into the major competitions at club level and international, with the gap only continuing to widen at the top level between the sides that play the Six Nations that play in the World Cup regularly, playing the Rugby Championship as well for the Southern Hemisphere. But look, I think that rugby should be more inclusive in terms of these nations. I think it should look to grow the sport a lot more. But these are just my thoughts. You can let me know what you think by writing a wee comment or getting in touch with me. I kind of encourage it. I look forward to different opinions. I love hearing different people's views. But look, I always just ask about your opinions by being kind. And look, as I say, you're always allowed to differ. I love hearing different people's opinions and seeing how they can help influence and evolve my opinions as well. But look, thank you very much for listening. I've been Brendan McGilligan and look forward to talking to you again.